What if you could repair the damage that multiple sclerosis left behind? Even years later. In this video, I'm inviting you inside my world, where I discovered the missing muscles, the missing movements, and how to wake them up. By the end, you'll see how I'm using neurologic reprogramming to rebuild strength, balance, and movement, and how you can use the same principles in your own recovery. This is neurologic reprogramming in action. It's not just about lifting weights. It's about retraining the nervous system to fire cleaner, faster, and more coordinated every single time. Before I close, let me say this. Stopping MS progression with the essentials gave me the foundation. But neurologic reprogramming is the finishing touch. It's the piece that takes away the last reminder of MS and changes my future. My philosophy is simple. Recover is a 3-step process. The first step is to stop inflammation, of course. That's what Sabri did for me starting in 2008. It stopped new damage, and now Ocrevus takes it even further by eliminating CD20 B cells, the same cells that carry Epstein-Barr virus, what researchers now call the trigger for MS. Step 2 is supporting remyelination. The main driver is weightlifting and super maximal interval training on my rowing machine. Niacin, nicotinamide, iodine, intermittent fasting, and sleep. Every single one of them has a place. Because those white spots on the MRI, those are just the ones you can see. The brain is littered with smaller scars that never get counted. And that's why repair has stayed constant. And then step 3 is what this video is all about. Neurologic reprogramming. I thought I could just keep getting stronger and my walking would naturally improve. I was wrong. It wasn't until I started physical therapy that I learned how to retrain my nervous system.
Let's look at the science behind this approach. First, calm the storm. Tysabri and Ocrevus drastically reduce new lesions by targeting immune overactivity. Then, fuel the repair process. Niacin and nicotinamide raise NAD+ levels, clearing out damaged myelin fragments, the battle scars with the immune system, and energizing oligodendrocytes, the cells that rebuild myelin. Iodine supports thyroid hormones that activate myelin genes. Intermittent fasting appears to reduce inflammation in the brain and spinal cord by activating protective cellular responses, reducing the accumulation of damaged molecules, and promoting cellular cleansing. It also influences the gut microbiome and suppresses pro-inflammatory cytokines, contributing to neuroprotection. And the most important step, exercise boosts BDNF, the growth signal for neuroplasticity and remyelination.
I've always had to think outside of the box and be creative while growing up, finding different ways to move, adapt, and keep up. That mindset shaped how I approach recovery today. I was born with hemiparesis. My right side was always a little weaker, especially my hand.
Give me a hug. You want to give me a hug? Give me a hug.
You got my hugs that easily.
Come on, give me a hug.
That's because you're. Oops. That's all you have to say for yourself. Oops.
Here's the thing. My hamstring was fine. In this video clip, you can see it was working perfectly. My right leg driving, pulling, stabilizing, no hesitation at all. That's how I know this trouble was caused by MS. Somewhere along the line, the disease stripped that connection away. My hamstring wasn't born weak. MS took it. And now, through neurologic reprogramming, I'm bringing it back.
This is such a crucial distinction. Not every deficit in MS comes from what you were born with. Some come from circuits that were damaged later. And when that happens, the nervous system can sometimes relearn. With the right training, the right feedback, and the right persistence, those lost connections don't have to stay lost.
Here's what my walking looked like the day I started physical therapy. Not terrible, but you can clearly see where the problems are. My right leg drags just a bit behind, and I have to work to keep from shuffling. This is my starting line, and I want you to see exactly what we're working to change.
Even with new myelin, the brain can keep running the same old movement code. That's where neurologic reprogramming comes in. Therapy and targeted training give the brain the feedback it needs to build new motor maps. That's what you're about to see Steve uncover.
My first PT session was a wake-up call.
Well, I mean, to be more clear, it's your right posterior chain.
Okay, is that what's called posterior chain?
And you see, like a lot of times, the easiest way to understand this is like with the spinal cord. There's certain sections, there's like certain strips of the spinal cord that'll be dedicated to this portion of the body.
Mm-hmm.
But they're sectioned. So like, if one hamstring goes, you're probably gonna have the calf and probably the glute involved too.
Okay.
You know, if quad goes, you're probably gonna have the quad and anterior tib and maybe some hip flexors, right?
Okay.
Because they're all in that same section. They're in that nerve bundle, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? So when we see like neurologic problems, and I am not a neuro specialist,
No, but you're making perfect sense right now.
My first PT session was a wake-up call. Steve, my therapist, pointed out that while squats were good at strength, they weren't exactly targeting the exact weakness holding me back. My posterior chain. My hamstrings, calves, and glutes were under-recruited, especially on the right side. I walked out of that session both sore and hopeful. For the first time, I knew exactly what muscles to target and how to do it. Don't get too hung up about how much weight is on the machine. Remember, this isn't about muscle. This is about building a neural connection. posterior chain is my weakness. But here's the bigger point. Everybody has a weakness. For me, it was my right hamstring and right calf, and a little bit of the quadricep up front. For you, it might be something entirely different. But the lesson is the same. Find your weakness and then conquer it. That's how recovery moves you forward.
And this is where the results truly compound. Think about it. Every rep isn't just building muscle, it's sending a signal through your nervous system. Each contraction fires a circuit, and every time that circuit is used, it becomes a little stronger, a little faster, a little cleaner. One rep by itself may feel small, almost insignificant, but strung together over days, weeks, and months, those signals begin carving out new motor maps in the brain and spinal cord. This is neuroplasticity in motion, your nervous system literally rewiring itself to move in a new way. The repair may never feel like flipping a switch. It's not instant. But over time, these layered signals add up to something life-changing. What was once a stumble turns into a step. What was once hesitation turns into stability. And because neurologic reprogramming is deeply individualized, it's not about copying someone else's routine. It's about finding your weak links, the muscles that aren't firing, the patterns that are broken, and then patiently reteaching your nervous system how to close those gaps. That's the path to recovery, not generic exercise, but precise retraining, tailored to your own body.
I also started thinking about the medications I used to take. Baclofen and tizanidine for spasticity, Provigil and amantadine for fatigue, oxybutynin for bladder issues. For years I leaned on them, but now I don't take a single one of them. The only pharma drug I still have is gabapentin. Sometimes at night for restless leg, but even that, I replaced it with heat and stretching before bed.
This shift is important. Steve's not fighting symptoms anymore. He's investing in repair. Niacin and niacinamide clear myelin debris. CDP choline provides building blocks for new myelin. Sleep nutrients like melatonin, GABA, 5-HTP, and theanine support deep rest when the brain does its best repair. The focus is no longer suppressing discomfort, but fueling restoration.
And that's been my mindset too. Honestly. I used to believe supplements alone might alleviate all my MS symptoms. I think many people hope for that as well. Now I see it differently. All of this is a one day at a time system. Each piece matters, and together they create the environment for repair. Progress doesn't come fast. Sometimes you'll find yourself stuck at a certain weight longer than you'd like. But I promise, there will be a breakout moment when you finally conquer it. And when you do, it changes everything. Before I go further, I want to be clear. This is the finishing touch for me. Stopping MS progression was the essentials gave me my foundation starting years ago. But neurologic reprogramming is what changes my future. This is my final piece. It's just that simple. The one that reminds me every day that MS doesn't get the last word. It may have taken my hamstring once, but I'm taking it back and never giving it up again. By the end, what once felt impossible isn't my ceiling anymore. My nervous system has already adapted.
This is neurologic reprogramming. Each wave pushes your nervous system to its edge, forcing new recruitment patterns, firing more motor units, and demanding tighter coordination. At first, the heavier set feels like a wall. But when you step back slightly, your brain has already recalibrated. What was once impossible suddenly feels accessible.
For me, it looks like this. I start with 8 reps at one level, then move up to 6 reps heavier, and finally push through 4 more reps at the hardest. Instead of resetting all the way back to the beginning, I only step back 1 level. So what was 6 before now is the new 8. Each wave builds on the last, and by the final round, what once felt impossible is no longer my ceiling. That's exactly how I'm teaching my nervous system to adapt and improve.
And the beauty is, this isn't just muscle strength. By the time you cycle back into the next wave, your nervous system is already primed, the signals travel faster, the motor units coordinate better, and remyelinated pathways carry cleaner messages. That's why what felt heavy a minute ago suddenly feels lighter. Your brain has rehearsed the pattern and upgraded the connection. Every wave is a signal, your nerves firing more cleanly, remyelinated fibers carrying the message with less static, and your brain refining its control. The load forces adaptation, and with repetition, the movement becomes smoother, more automatic, more yours.
And that brings us here to the big picture. So exciting. All of this work, from the essentials to the PT sessions to my Bowflex training, it all has one goal: proving that MS repair isn't just a theory, it's practice achievable by anyone.
And you need to hear this, it's real. Repair isn't just happening in Steve's body. Same principles can spark change in yours too. Don't let MS have the last word. Keep showing up, keep signaling, and your nervous system will answer back.
I've seen it. I've felt it. And I know it can happen for others too, including you.
That's the heart of neurologic reprogramming. The results compound, session after session, rep after rep. And when you stick with it, the changes can feel unstoppable.
This isn't just my story. No. This can be your story too. Find your weakness. Target it. And don't stop until you reprogram it. Thanks for watching. If this inspired you, hit the like and subscribe button and share it with someone else who needs hope today. Also, consider joining my Patreon. You can chat live with us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. I'll see you in the next one.